You don't know a day in the history of Rome when there wasn't a war. Those are not civilization. Those are death cults, war culture. They're not building anything. They're stealing from other people.
We are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us. And I think you are judging us by the state of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind of black people.
I've traveled the world as a black man, and I have never seen a black country where the people who live in it are foreigners that were brought there by blacks as slaves.
Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever. Everything in return for all of this. What have we got? Us.
Why do you say Europeans never created a civilization?
Show me one. That's the only question I'm saying. Show me a European civilization. Rome was not a civilization. Greece was not a civilization. You don't know a day in the history of Greece where there wasn't a war. You don't know a day in the history of Rome when there wasn't a war. Those are not civilization. Those are death cults, war culture. They're not building anything. They're stealing from other people, borrowing from other people, and still carrying on this anti-human, anti-nature behavior of murdering, stealing to conquer and appropriate something that belonged to someone else that you could have gotten by just shaking their hands and making a deal.
Why are white people so intimidated and threatened by black men, despite their claims that black men are inferior to them and incapable of the most basic tasks?
Well, there's an easy answer to that question. They know black men are superior to them. Put us on any playing field, be it physics or football, and we will win. Give us the same opportunities, and we will win. Because we come from a history of not trying to destroy and dominate the world, and you come from a history of trying to destroy and dominate the world. And that has become the culture of the white community.
Shut your industries up if you're talking about green energy. You have lied to us for too long, and the honeymoon of lies is over.
Brought up in, quote, Bedford-Stuyvesant in my town. But I would like to say what scares us is I think we hear violence.
The young lady said she's afraid of violence. And isn't it sad that we who have been the victims of so much violence, now whites fear violence from us? We do not have a history of killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. See? And what you fear, may I say this, sir? What you fear, and it's a deep guilt thing, that white folks suffer. You are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us. And I think you are judging us by the state of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind of black people.
Okay, I've been listening in this corner right here, and I've heard a whole lot of negative things from the white people here. When you were trying to explain yourself, the white people don't want to hear you explain yourself. They drown you out. They start already trying to drown you out and talk over you. There's a certain amount of white arrogance here, and they don't want to listen to what black people are saying. They don't understand because they don't want to understand. I've heard a woman here say, go back to Africa. Somebody said, we have a black holiday. What does that mean? So what does that mean? He did not say that. He said, if we have a choice, what some of us can go and some of us can stay. But there's no understanding in here. People are just trying to talk.
To those arrogant persons, you know, when you tell us go back, please remember where you came from. And when you When you want to relegate somebody to a specific place, just remember what your origin is in this world. Please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I want you to understand that you, wherever you are on the earth, you're not a native anywhere. You came there and took it from the native people who are there. So please don't talk about going back, because if others talk to you about that, where would you go?
I've traveled the world as a black man, and I have never seen a black country where the people who live in it are foreigners that were brought there by blacks as slaves. Not one single country. Yet the black race has more countries on earth than any other country. 54 are on the continent. 13 black countries in the Caribbean. So 68 black countries. There's not a single black country where slaves were bought from outside by black people. I've traveled the world. Not a single country in the world colonized by a black country. There's nowhere you go on Mother Earth where the language they are speaking was imposed on them by force by a black country. I've traveled the world, and I have never seen a religion that is imposed upon anybody anywhere in this world by a black country. There are 68 black countries in the world, the largest continent by number of countries. Not a single one of them has a nuclear weapon of mass destruction. Black countries across the world, none of them is responsible for what we call the military complex, where we are manufacturing dirty bombs and sending things into the water to pollute people. I've traveled the world, and I'm yet to see one product that was forced to be sold in another country by a black country. So it means the black race is the only race on earth that represent what the United Nations have been looking for the last 100 years, peace.
The thing is that, as far as I'm concerned, since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa? Our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever. Everything you are is us. I am not saying it, it's a fact. And in return for all of this, what have we got? Nothing. Anti-personnel indoctrination against ourselves. If you go and cook your horrible diseases like AIDS, you say it is us. You brought us tuberculosis. We didn't have this big cough until white people came here. In exchange for Africa giving Europe 500 solid years of our people, I mean not Europe, the Western world, of our human beings to work your canes, to dig your gold, to take in gold itself, diamond, I mean, you know, fish, peanuts, palm oil, everything. In exchange for that, we have got nothing. Nothing. And you know it. Nothing. And you look upon, you know, white folks look upon us like monkeys. It is true. It's in your literature. Hey, you know, some of your best thinkers have said this about us. Have you heard of all these Germans? Have you heard? Okay. Yes. They said, Lord Burton, yes. People like that, they said, we don't even have the brain of animals. That's what we've got from you people.
But don't you think that this is over now?
Over where? Is it over? Who said that AIDS came from the green monkey? Is it over? Is it over?
Well, if this is your impression, do you think that you can ever forgive us?
It's not a question of forgiveness. I have nothing against you.
White men did not find black people sitting under a tree, with no beliefs, dying, like dysfunctional. Yes. They did not find us with no names of things that are in the sky, things that are on the ground, and things that are underneath the ground.
With no idea of God.
In what we might call in good English, the hegemony of the African epistemologies has not been punctuated by whites, because we knew Inkanyezi, we knew Umdali, we knew Pamata, we knew Umvelingang, we knew Unkulu, of course, Bamabalu, Bambis Unkulunkulu. But in so this is our grandfather. If you keep on asking Bomkulu, Nabomkulu, you may find someone there who started the whole process. So when the white man comes around and begins to say, you are a pagan, you don't believe in anything. But then come to the space where we begin to express ourselves. Umsindisi ukona, ikamasnalo, utito snaye, Mwari, we have them, Kunamata, Ukutandaza. Those names are not white names. So the white man did not bring a whole vocabulary, which becomes the operative of modern Christianity, if he did not find the African already as religious and as spiritual. The problem is that when a white man found a black man kneeling under a tree, or sitting at a graveyard, or sitting in a river, and you are because relating your history to say this man is worshiping trees, this man is worshiping the river, this man is worshiping the sun. But you forget that in Africa, we do not worship ancestors. Let me correct that. We don't worship them. Our historical connectivity to our forefathers is put in spaces of religious connection. That before you connect with the one who made you, you access by firstly recognizing those that have brought you to where you are. And as a theologian, that's Matthew chapter 1. Jesus, the son of Joseph, the son of Boaz, the son of Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, the son of David, the son of Perez, the son of Jesse, the son of Abraham, son of Lamech, son of Noah, son of Methuselah, son of Seth, son of Adam, son of God. So how then do you become a Christian and throw away your genealogy to accept a Eurocentric genealogy which does not connect with you? Did God make a mistake to create you? The answer is no. You can access your forefather. You can access God.
They came from Europe to invade our country. They took it. They have made us suffer. Now, it is absurd to say that we Africans were not in Africa when white people first came. And secondly, about us. They will always write negative things about us. And they have to do that because they have to justify their invasion in all the countries. They could have come to our country and lived side by side with us. We didn't mind that. In fact, when they came, we said, come in, sit down, and they sat down and said, get out.
Malcolm X says that the white man loves himself so much that he is startled when he finds out that his victim doesn't share the same high regard for him that he shares for himself. Now that's an amazing statement, because what he's talking about is this sense of entitlement that comes with being in the group that controls things, the group that oppresses, the group that has the power. When you are in that group for so long, when you have privilege that you didn't earn nor do you deserve, you get the sense that that's the way things should be, and that in fact people should admire you because you're so strong, but ignore the fact that you got strong, quote unquote strong, that you became rich by oppressing, by extorting, by stealing, by robbing, by endangering people for no reason at all. Malcolm X says that the system is surprised when the victims, and in this case in the context of the United States of America, when the black man living in the North, living in the South, did not celebrate his white oppressor. That thought is still very relevant today. What do you think?
Did you know that before the Victorian era, Europeans used to openly praise Africans as being the foundation of civilization? In 1787, French philosopher Count Volney stood before the relics of ancient Kemet and confessed, "Just think that this race of black men, today our slave and the object of our scorn, are the very race to which we owe our arts, our sciences, and even the use of speech." Early travelers and scholars marveled at African achievement in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, engineering, and social piety long before Europeans had mastered any of it. Heinrich Barth, the German explorer, in 1853 said, "I found men in Genève and Timbuktu whose knowledge in astronomy and poetry and law equaled that of any European university." And then there was Mary Kingsley, the English ethnographer, who in 1897, when speaking on the Congo River people, said that I have seen villages governed by councils of elders whose diplomacy, wisdom and communal spirit put many Western parliaments to shame. But by the late 18th and early 19th century, European thought shifted. Pseudoscientific racism rewrote history, redefining Africans as primitive as a means of justifying generations of slavery. But let's remember this, dismissal doesn't erase the facts. So here's the point. African intellect birthed writing systems, it mapped out the heavens, it founded medicine, it built expansive kingdoms, and it developed holistic governance that Europeans have borrowed from, all without giving any credit. Europeans have always known that Africans were at the bedrock of human progress. Only modern bias tries to deny this. Learning about what was lost to the pages of history doesn't just honor the past, it empowers our future. Because as the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, a people without a knowledge of their past, their history, their origins and culture is like a tree without roots.